Hey, the other day I came across this cool Peter McKinnon video where he kind of demonstrates this beginner technique of throwing in a color gradient on one side of the image, like let's say a red one, and throwing in a color gradient on the other side, let's say a blue one. And that he likes to use that technique to sort of enhance his photos and kind of give them a little more drama. You know, he just kind of blends those colors in. And it looked to me almost like sort of a gel effect, sort of an after the fact gel effect that you can do in Photoshop. And you know, I've done Photoshop gel lighting effects using different techniques before myself, but I haven't done one with macro photography. And you know, there was a video that I did not that long ago where I did some macro photography and I used actual gels over my flash units to create some really cool gel effects, but like in this really small scale, right? I mean, yeah, I've used gels in larger setups for portraits and things like that for just special effects, but I haven't used gels that often for macro photography. And now I'm curious to see if faking the gel lighting in Photoshop would basically give me the same effect as using real gels when it comes to macro photography. So I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm going to do some macro shots using actual gels, and then I'm going to do some without using the gels, but then try to recreate gel lighting in Photoshop on those same macro shots. And I'm going to compare the two to see if you can really tell which ones used the gels and which ones were faked in Photoshop. So let's give it a try, see what we come up with, and then we'll make our judgments based on those results. All right, as far as macro shots, this is pretty loose. I'm using a 13mm extension tube on a 50mm lens. I go ahead and set up the two flashes, one red and one sort of a purplish gel, and then we are off to the races. And so this is the result, a pretty nice combination of red and purple. I'm pretty happy with the way this looks. And after removing the flash gels, we took a straight shot so that we would have something to mess around with in Photoshop to see what kind of results we could get with the Photoshop lighting effects. After several minutes of messing around with that, this is about the best I could do. Now, I'm not a Photoshop guru, but I don't think this is horrible. It's just not quite the same look as you get with real gels. I'm sure with a little training and a lot more time spent on the actual image, I could get something that was a lot closer to the effect that I got with the actual gels. But I'm telling you, slapping a couple of gels on the flashes and knowing the effect that you want and taking a few test shots until you get that effect, that is just a lot faster than trying to recreate the same kind of look in Photoshop. So there you go. Me personally, I think I prefer using real gels and not having to do all that extra work in Photoshop. It just might require a little bit of thinking, you know, ahead and just, you know, making sure that you're getting the colors that you want. However, if you're good with Photoshop and you like having the option to change the colors and moving those virtual lights around, then maybe Photoshop is the better way for you. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. Give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe. That's about it for today. See you next time.